of the things that we were speaking about earlier, terrorists don't make good criminals. They're not that good at it. So they actually need the criminals to go get these things. So that's when you get this intersection of the two and they start working together. That started with weapons, lodging, hiding people. And then what happened is it was happening on a regular basis because terrorism expanded, and they kept going back to the criminals, where the criminals were like, hey, this is a regular source of funds, which is more of a criminal attitude. So they started partnering more freely. So you have criminal organizations that are acting as terrorists and terrorists acting as criminal organizations. A very good example of this, and people don't always look at it this way, but ISIS was a great criminal organization. Started out as a terrorist organization. They wound up taking approximately 34,000 square miles. That's the size of the state of Maine. They created their own enterprise. They had the self-supporting criminal activities in that 34,000 miles. They were generating almost $3 billion a year in annual revenue in criminal activities. So, I mean, this is a real case of what took place. What enables these things to come together, criminality and terrorism, is basically poverty, a lack of education, a lack of basic resources. I mean, they pry on poor people. They pry on the underdeveloped people, people that need us the most. This is where they get hurt the most on a regular basis. That's not new. But we as a society have to start looking at neighborhoods and countries and areas that need our help, need our funding, need our assistance in so many different ways before it gets darker and darker and darker, and not wait until there's such bad activity that they get sanctioned, which just speeds up the whole process. What are the next steps? We need to start looking at illicit financial flows, whether it's terrorism, doesn't make a difference, criminality, doesn't matter. Policymakers need to look at what is the illicit activity route, not looking at the meaning behind it. When we start getting into the definitional arguments of terrorism and criminality, we lose. What we need to look at is the illicit funds flow. Regardless of the mentality behind the funds flow, we need to look at that. Terrorist organizations are less successful on these illicit financial activities if we could break those funds flows, which is run by criminals. And that'll be a lot easier than dealing with. What we need to do is go after high-profile prosecution cases, make it very public on the corruption side and on the criminal organization side. Let it be known that this illicit channel is being broken, and disrupt the trafficking routes with strong border controls. I'm going to repeat that again. Disrupt the trafficking routes with strong border controls. And I think we also need to disrupt the trafficking with strong border controls. But without border controls, you will not solve this problem.